Hello everyone, so this is Samir from InsuredMine. So we are going to start with the next session, which is reports and analytics, and I will be your host who will be speaking about what are reports and what are the importance of it and how you can utilize and create reports in InsuredMine. So I'll just go ahead, Mansrat, and share my screen, and then we are good to go. All right. Margaret, can you do one thing? Can you share your screen? I'm just facing some challenges moving around. Margaret, are you there? Thank you for sharing it.
Yes, Amir, I'm going to share my screen. Let me stop this presentation and then I will just here we are. Okay. Okay.
So to begin with the reports and analytics, I have a question for everyone on this session. So my first question is, what do you know about what is the gold mine in the insurance industry? So what do you think is the gold mine in the industry? What is that? Can I get some answers? That would be great for me to know as what is your perspective on this. Okay, I got the first answer. So it's data. Yep. Happy customers. That's also an important point. Waiting for more answers. Anyone else to chip in? Or anyone have another perspective on this? Communication. Yeah, that is also an important part, because without communication, we cannot keep our customers happy. Yeah, that's very important. So I think Stacy had given me the right answer. Bingo. So kudos to her. So can we move to the next slide, Monserrat? Yeah, your data is a gold mine. Yes, you heard it right. Most of the agencies do not understand or sometimes make it sideways that data is not so important, making business is more important. But in today's industry, I believe it's a very important thing to study your data, and what is happening inside your agency it's a must thing. Every day there are new players in the competition, and each one of us should have a mine of data. But the question is, having those data and converting those data are two different things. You might have a big book of business, but if you are not able to bring out the insights from it and convert it into a gold mine, then it is of no use, I would say. Because every agency is sitting on a gold ore, but if we do not process that ore into a gold, it does not provide us any value. So in today's time, it is very important for the industries to not only focus on the better data, but also the use of the data in their daily business. So that's the importance of the data in current industry. So I will get you through few insights. Moving to the next slide. Can we go to the next slide, Margaret? Okay. So the next question is, yeah. Okay, can we go back? I think we are one slide ahead. Yeah. So I have few facts to tell you about. So the facts are like that 80% of the insurance companies rely on the data analytics which have a positive impact on the business. And if you are running your organization and having a look on your data as how many customers are there, which of them are bringing more business, and if they are satisfied with their business or the policies that you're selling them or not, and what kind of relationship that you're having. So it helps to maintain a good relation and also to nurture more business in the future. So let's take an example here. So if a person who has been purchasing a policy from your insurance industry, and there are more likely 80% chances that he will come for renewals if there is a good customer and customer client relationship. So it's a must thing, I would say, to build that bond and to increase your business. So the next thing is that once we know that, yeah, this is the data is important, but how and what does it, how does it impact the industry? So going to the next slide, or Manzrit. Um, I'm not sure. Okay. So as I said, the data-driven organization, what does it mean exactly? So while, okay, can we go back? So while I was talking about data-driven organization, so when we are doing any business, it is important to keep the data at the center piece. The reason why I'm saying is that, so I will try to explain through an example here. So suppose there is a car that you're looking for to purchase. It might have a 5-star rating with all sorts of features, with safety features, with all the tech features in it. But does that guarantee you a safe and a comfortable journey? Some may say yes and some may say no. The reason is that I would say no, because if the driver driving that car is not trained enough and is not good enough to drive the car in any given condition, even if it is a BMW or Mercedes, that car can't give you the right amount of comfort that you are expecting. So same goes with the insurance industry. If you have a business with lots of agents, uh, if you are thinking of that, there are hundreds plus of agents and I can bring more leads and more business in my in my organization, but that does not guarantee you that you will excel. The reason being is that you will need to think from the perspective how smartly you can work with the lesser number of agents and bring more revenue to the organization. And that's the importance of data, and that sometimes gets overlooked by the agencies. So now I will be talking about the next thing as why the insurance agent needs to track this data. So going to the next slide. So the question that comes in here is that why we need to track this data? Why is it so important for any insurance agencies? So here are a few points which I believe are the important ones, but these points or things can change as per the key metrics that the different agencies are using to measure their business. So the first thing I would like to talk about is the revenue reporting. Revenue reportings are nothing but your sales report. So how well you're doing your business in a given month, how many policies have you sold out, or in a given quarter, what's the sales chart report? Uh, are you going in a positive note or are you going downfall? So that's the importance of revenue. And what happens is that with time, when you gather such information quarter by quarter, it helps you to gain knowledge as in which direction is your business going on. Is the revenue going on the upscale or on the downscale side? So sales reports that highlight high source makes it clear that which channels are driving leads that convert easily. So it's very important to look at your lead sources. From where are you generating those leads, and does it really making money for you or not? So that's the question, and that's the you can only see when you are having that data in front of you. So that's the revenue reporting. Now the second most important why we need to track the data is for positive client relationship. As I got one of the response from Amanda that yeah, happy customers are the ones, this is the most important for her. So I believe that's also a right answer. An insurance agent's company that can predict the need of the prospect of customers by looking through the trend and how much potential of the sale they can have in a given period of time or at a given time, that will help them to grow their business. Analysis of the existing customer data also offers a prescriptive insight in improving the customer satisfaction. So let me take an example here. One of the main purpose of the data is that to maintain the existing client relationships. So beyond your transactional information, your data book can have some other information of your clients, like their corporate personal data or demographic details, or maybe other details that you feel is important. So when you learn something about their personal lives or about a recent life event of their customers, you can note it down in your notebook. So what happens is that due to this, you in your next conversation, you can use these details to talk about the points to provide more personalized interactions. So you are not just selling straightforward policies to your clients, but it will help you to target the clients in a more personal way, and your clients will appreciate working with you. They will feel like you're not having a professional, but more of a personal relationship with them. So this will help you increase your business. And as I said in my earlier chart, the client relationship, if it has a good bond, then it will help you to get more renewals from the same client again and again. You will not lose that client in the future. So that's the importance of data in the current world. Now the next topic that I will like to cover would be the targeted marketing. So when you have a data of your clients, you know what type of customers you're already using the business and its services. So you can use these insights to determine how to market your service and grow the business. So to explain this, let me take an example here. You may realize that your company already has a success with a specific age group of people or living in a specific demographic region, right? So when you're trying to expand your business through marketing campaigns or any other process or efforts, or maybe any marketing tactics that you're using, you may find that targeting those groups represents a safe place to start, because due to you have an initial bond that you have already built up. On the same hand, depending on the business that you do, you may conduct a research as well. So looking at the data based upon geographical region, the policies that you have sold, you can assess the what kind of need is there with those clients. So you can do some cross-selling, or you can find some monoline customers, you can sell more policies to them. So that's the targeted marketing is required. But how do you get to know this? You get to know this when you know your data that is sitting under you, with you. It is going nowhere, it is only with you, which needs a relook, I would say. And also there's one important point here. When you are targeting a customer, so if you have low engagement with your customers, you can conduct further assessments to determine the viability of reaching those customers. So once you find that viable options, which may depend on the location or the factors that you have based upon the insurance, you can target and demonstrate why and how you can sell those policies and why is the need of that. So yeah, that's the only thing that you can do for targeting marketing. Now coming to the next and the last important point is the reducing the short and long-term risk. So when you are selling or looking at your data book or your book of business, you might find that your revenue is growing quarter by quarter. But sometimes what we find is that you might be losing your loyal customers. For the short term, you might be seeing that your okay, I'm generating more revenue, so my insurance agency is doing fine. But what happens is that you might be losing your loyal customers who might bring you new customers, referrals, and you might that those loyal customers can be the ones who renew year after year. So it's very important not to just look in one direction, but it's to get an look at overall direction as in what way you can bring value to your customers and also not risk your insurance agencies. So now we have talked a lot about the data and what the importance of it and why it needs to be looked into. But the question appears as what to do with this data and how can we chop this down and get the valuable information from it, right? So moving to the next slide, Manzit. Okay, so the next question comes is the unlocking your big data in InsuredMine. So this is the next thing that I want to talk to you about. So that is how you can break down the data and how you can generate reports and analytics, and you can use those for your own agency. So some may argue that they might have different metrics to assess their business. Like some might look at their happy customers, and some might be looking at the revenue. Some might be looking at the geographical region wise as from where the revenue is generating. So different insurance agencies might have a different metrics to assess their business, how they're growing up. So in InsuredMine, we provide you the two important things. So how you can unlock your data, big data. So the first thing that we have for you is so moving to the next slide. So first thing that we have for you is the canned reports. So canned reports are nothing but we have based for this past 3-4 years, we have been studying our customers, and based on the requirement or the what needs to be shown or how they can assess their growth, we have built some data dashboards where you can see your business, how it is moving, and you can access them at your own ease at any time. So the first one and the most commonly used dashboard is the sales dashboard most of our agents are using. And in the sales dashboard, I would just like to cover few of the key highlights, which I think most of already agencies are using, but others may not be using. But yeah, so first one is the one deal by agent. So agents are using this, admins are using this chart to assess how many deals have they won and what is the revenue each agent is bringing up, and how many deals have they won in a given time period. So this is basically a predefined data analytics that we are providing. But apart from that, we have some additional filters that you can put in, just like the pipeline. You can select the time range, you can select the course, revenue, and the premium. So these are the few things that you can select based upon your requirement, and you can visualize those data in the sales dashboard. And same thing goes for the agency dashboard. We have data related to the agency level, how many policy, how much premium has been generated overall, and what is the average premium, and what is the policy by categories. And those are the different ways you can visualize your data. And we have other dashboards like the activity and the marketing dashboard. So you can look into how much engagement you are having with your customers. So you can look at the data points like emails, how many emails have been sent out to your customers, and how many text messages, or how are you interacting with them. So that gives it insight as are you doing enough to engage with your customers. So that gives you an opportunity to to maintain the relationship with their customers. And lastly, we have the marketing dashboard in the canned report. So there you can see all your emails and workflow automations, your text campaigns, which are scheduled and which have already been sent. So this gives you an insight as how many, so maybe you might have built a renewal automation. So you can check as how many renewals are supposed to go out to the customers in today or tomorrow, or in the next 7 days, or in the next 30 days. So this way you can check the insights of your data at any given point of time with InsuredMine, with your own ease. Now the second and the most important, I would say, would in the InsuredMine that we provide are the customized reports. So going over to the next one. I know when people look at the data, right? So we get to see lots of columns and rows, and we get scared of to read those data, and we do not touch such data, and because we are not comfortable going into and getting your hands dirty with it. But I believe that raw data has much potential to bring business to the insurance agencies, because as I said, each agency can have their own metrics uh, to yeah. So I think Johnson, yes, says yeah, John. But I have seen few agencies who are not aware of the usage of the reports, because they feel that uh, this is something which we do not understand what the book of business. Sometimes they become scared about it. So that is why we have provided the report section in our InsuredMine, because this is something where we can play along, get your data output from this. So what's the important fact part of is the three things are there. So first thing is the book of business report, which has all the policy information. Then we have the personal data book, which has the client information. And then the last, we have the agency performance report. So these are the most customized way of looking at the data. So moving on to the next one. So I will just get deep into this. That's how you can create a customized report. So let's recap things. So from the start, we began with as the importance of data that we have done. Yep. And then how the ways InsuredMine can help you to drill down the data. So the two ways are canned reports, and the second are the customized one. Since this customized reports are the least used, I believe, what we have seen, based upon our customer interaction with the agents and the agencies. So I will just try to break down as how you can create the reports, and what will be, are the different use cases you can implement in your agency. That's how I will go down. So the next question appears, how to convert data into your dollars. So next, moving to the next slide. So first of all, we should know the type of report that we are about to generate. So looking at, are we looking at the policy information or the client information? So these are the two reports that we have. And it's the first thing that a agent must know, that what we are going to pull out from that raw data. So that's the first thing. And then in InsuredMine, we have the way where we can pull that report directly into your inbox, and you can schedule it. So what happens is, once you have built that report, you are done with that, and you can just schedule it as daily or weekly or monthly. So every day or weekly or monthly, you will receive an email with the link of the report that you need to look at, and that would be a much convenient way of looking at the data. So you do not have to slice and dice the information every time when you're looking at the reports. Rather, I would say, just create the report and forget about it, and just you need to look at your inbox, and you have that report to check every month or maybe every week as per your requirement. Okay, so I will just break this whole process further down, and I will let you know the steps. So can we go to the next slide, Montserrat? Yes, Rebecca, yes. So I said that, yeah, reports can be generated. You can have that scheduled. So that is what I'm going to teach you, as what are the report recipes, the 5-step process, how you can create a report, and how you can save and schedule it in your inbox. So that's what we are going to cover it next. So the 5 steps that I'm going to talk about, the first is the type of that report you want to run. So it is very important. So as I said, and I have repeated several times, I believe that when you're running a report, you must know as what is the target or what you want to achieve from your report. So that's the first thing that should appear in your mind. So if I'm generating a report, the other agency might have a different perspective as office agencies. So they might be having a different perspective of running their assessing their business. So they might run a type of report which might not be same. So it's very important to understand as what information are we going to pull from the reports. The next thing that comes in is that how are we going to group them? So when I say group them, there are different ways you can group them. So like you can group them agent wise, categories wise, carrier wise, or lead source, or the policy count. So these are the groupings that we provide in InsuredMine to look at the data in a more structured way. It's not just a report that you run and it goes on a long list. So you can group that report. That's the second step. And the next step that we have are the filters. So we have various filters, which I will be covering in next slides, which you can filter it out based upon the policy effective date or the state in which a client is based on, or what are the different divisions. So for AMS 360 users, we have divisions, branches based upon which you can filter your data. Now, once you have created this part of these 3 steps, the type of report, the grouping of it, and putting all the filters to generate your desired report, you can save that report. Once you save that report, you have the ability to schedule it, as I said in my previous slide. So going over each section, so Mazat, we can go on to the next. So I will be going over the 5 points that I said. The first step was that what type of report you want to run. So the first one was the book of business, which has all the policy information of the clients. The second one is the personal. Okay, let's cover to see the book of business first. So when you're in the book of business page, you will get to see some groups and filters. So let's take it one by one. So for book of business, what are the groups through which you can group the data? So in my first book, under the book of business picture, you will see the group by. So for all the agencies, we have grouping by agent, by carriers, and by categories. But for AMS 360, we have additional grouping like by AMS policy status, executive representative, division, department, branch, and groups. So these are the groups that you can create the rows in. Now, once you have created that group, so the next thing that comes in the filters. So what kind of filters that you can apply? So these are the filters that we have in the book of business: the policy status, the policy categories, the carriers, the state, city, branches, effective date of the policy, the agent, the assigned agents, and the expiration date of the policies. So these are the 2 groups and filters that you can apply for book of business when you're running a report. And similarly, you can, if I go by personal data book, again, the personal data book. So if you see in the middle, you will see the grouping by agents, contact status, policies count, and lead source. So in personal data book, you can group your data based upon these 4 ways. But for AMS 360, we have additional options. Oh, sorry, I think disposition. Disposition is available for all. So I think that is marked incorrectly. So disposition is available for all, but divisions, department, branches, and groups, these are available for the AMS 60 users. And there are other filters based upon the contact status. So you might remember that when I was talking about the targeted marketing. So in targeted marketing, I said that you can look about age group of people located in a particular geographical region. So you can use these filters, the age filter and the cities filter, and you can take a particular period of time and you can see in a given year how much business have you done with a particular age group in a given geographical region. So that is how you drill down and think of as how you can take the maximum from this reports. And so once we are done with this 3-step process, so okay, so for Tamara has one question before we move to the other steps. So will there be any other options for AMS in this future? Yeah, so we are looking for the opportunities where we can have other filters for other AMS as well, but we will keep you posted. But definitely we are looking for that, to implement that for other agencies. Now going on to the next slide, that is the step 4 and 5. So once you have created that report based upon your understanding, so what needs to be done? So moving on to the next. So when you run a report, so you get the options to save that report, or you can download that report at the very moment. And the third option is to save a list. So first of all, I would like to cover the saving the reports part. So once you have created your desired report based upon the type, group, and the filters, you can save that report. And in the same page, you can see those saved reports on the as under the fourth option. So the step 5 is to scheduling the report. So once the report has been saved, there's an option to schedule that report. Yeah, that's correct. So what I was talking about in the previous slide was that you can schedule this report from this place. When you click on this button, you get to schedule it to get that report monthly, weekly, or daily. And that's how you run a report once and then forget about it, I would say. You don't need to bother about it again and again, running the same report and slicing and dicing it again. And also at any given point of time, if you feel that, okay, in between or any point of time that I want to run the same report and I want to see how the business is doing based upon your key metrics or how you have developed your report, you can simply click on the run report option. So that will give you the run the report at the very point of time, and then you can download that report with the download button, and that will help you assess your information. Now we have talked a lot about, so if you have any questions or doubts, I can move further, but before that I will just like to take a pause. If anyone has any questions, we can take as how to create a report or anything, any suggestions that you have for us. All right, so I will move on to the next part of this reports, which is what are the, so moving to the next slide on it. So the next thing, the third one was, yes, so that is something that we have, John. Yeah, the third thing was performance report that I was going to talk about. And yes, we are thinking of to implement that thing, because the thing we have received this feedback from few of our agents as well, that we need to see those data. And yeah, that is something that we can pursue in our report. So performance report. So when you look at this performance report currently, so you see that there are some comparisons happening. So we have the overview, like the total active account and the commercial, based upon commercial and personal, what is the total active premium. But when you look on the right hand part, which is the month-wise data, you see just the numbers. But I would say these are just not the numbers. This gives an important information. So one example I have said was that, so you can see that in this particular example, the total premium of the agency is from July to August, it went down, but from August to September, it went up, right? So it shows a positive value. It's in green. So it gives a impression that we are doing good in the terms of business, in the terms of revenue. But what happens is, if you look at your active client account, active commercial or personal, either way, you will see that there has been some decline or the decrease in the number of active accounts. So this gives an insight as there is something which is not good even though the business is increasing, but we need to look at who all are the accounts that were has declined, and were those your loyal customers. If yes, then you need to look at again as how you need to rebuild your business, rebuild your sales process, and how to engage more with your clients to retain business. So this is the way how you need to, or how you can think of. So that's my perspective of thinking. But um, as I said, every agency can have their own way of looking at this data and getting the insights from it. So so one extra thing that I would like to add here is that the transaction part, so which I have highlighted in box. So this is something which is available for AMS 360 and CNQQ and Hoxad as well. So you might see different categories based upon which, so like the policy, it's a new business, renewed policy, rewrite. So these are the ways you can check the data. So these are the extra key points that you can see in the performance report for your agencies, which is not available for other AMSs. So now going over to the next slide. So now we have talked a lot about the reporting part. Now I will just talk about few of my customized reports, or how I have thought of that might benefit you. So just you can have a look, and then we can assess this. If that's helpful for you, you can definitely implement in your report as well. But yeah, just I will go log to first report, that is the new business report. So I have created a report here which is based upon your book of business, and the filters that I've applied here is that different cities, the time period, and the active accounts, and I have grouped by the categories. So that's the five-step process that we are doing, that I did. So first thing is that I want to look at the policy information. So I clicked on the book of business report. Then I knew that, okay, I want to group this data based upon the categories. So I grouped those data, and then what kind of information, how I want to chop that information or get the right information. So it was based upon the time period that I took here, the active policies that I took here, and the city that I wanted to look at. So this is how you can put your reports and get the details as how you are assessing it. Going over to the next slide, Monserrat. So the next I have is the lead source report. So in this, I just wanted to look at the data as which lead source is bringing more premium or more business to us. So what I did was that I went into the personal data book, and then I grouped this information by the lead source, and I have not put any filter here, but based upon your time period, you can, or any other filters like age group or other things, you can put the filters or the agents. You can have that information filtered out, and you can have the information as which lead source is bringing more premium, and where you need to invest more and spend your money wisely. So that gives them more insight as which lead source is more important for you, and you need to focus on that. Going on to the next slide, Monserrat. So now going over to the inactive clients report. So this is, I believe, this is the most important. So the business that you have already created, the active clients, those are the ones that you have. But it is also very important to take a back step and look into your inactive clients, as which clients have you lost in the past, or who are in inactive state, and what are the premiums that they had generated for you, and what if you're able to quote something that will help you to increase your more business. So this is another report that you can run by under the personal data book, and based upon the contact status, as inactive client, you can drill down the information, and that will help you out, maybe looking at those inactive clients and targeting those in your next marketing campaign. So these are the 2-3 use cases that we felt like to present before you, but you are good to go with your own thought process and have your report generated and schedule it so that it will help you out with your growing your business and find out where are your growth opportunities. So going on to the next slide, and that's something I would like to add few more bonus points. So what else we have in this report section? So going to the next slide. So as I said, okay, can we go back a page earlier? Okay, so apart from that, we have some extra reports that you can see, which you do not provide the most filters in it, but yeah, those are also important for you, like the activity report. So this activity report can also be seen in your activity as under the activity dashboard. So here also we have implemented that, and where you can see as per the agent wise how they have how frequently your agents are interacting with their clients based upon the notes, files, emails, and the meetings that they have scheduled in the given time period. So this is something that you can look at and see the credibility as how effective your agents are with their clients. And the next thing that I want to talk about is the report. So as I said, reports can be scheduled from book of business and personal data book, but there are other places where you can create a report. So as we were talking in our FAQ previous session, accounts, contacts, apart from accounts and contacts, there are policies under carriers, categories, and opportunities. We have the option to save those reports. So we don't have this scheduling option for those reports, but you can create those reports and you can see it on this saved reports, and you can run those reports as and when required as per your requirement. And this another thing that's important to note here is that in save reports, it is not just saving the reports. So if you have filtered out a list of clients based upon your understanding, so you can also target those clients. So I was talking about the inactive clients. So you can target those clients using the save as list option. So whenever you are creating a report, you do get an option to save as a list option. So once you save that list, it gets saved under the engagement module of our application, and then you can use that list for starting an email campaign. So that's an extra thing that you can do under the reports, saving those as a list. So that's all I had for reports that I wanted to cover. And before I end this session, I will just like to cover the last point. So going over to my last slide. Can we move to the next slide? Yeah. So we talked about why insurance agents needs to track data. So for revenue reporting, we have, so I was just wanted to cover up the topics as what would be the solution of those things. We definitely talked about the need of that, but how to achieve that through InsuredMine. So for revenue reporting, we have the sales dashboard. For targeted marketing, you can use the book of business where you can filter your data, slice and dice it, and you can save that list and you can send a campaign to those targeted audience. Then we have the personal data book for positive client relationship. So you can assess your client information and get the details. You can get all the information from that. And the last but not the least, we have the reduced short-term, long-term risks. So through performance graph, you can get that information that will help you to avoid any downfalls in your business that you can look for in performance. So that's all I had for you. And thank you everyone for being here. on this session and listening to it. I'll take any questions that you have or any suggestions. Okay.
Thanks, Amir. So what do you think, guys? Do you like this session? Who is going to start creating the reports, dashboard?
Now I want to take a moment here, Montserrat. Hey, thanks, Samir. Samir has been a great find for InsuredMine. I want to say that, guys. Since he came in, we have stepped up the game on support. The whole chat thing has been transformed. The team on that support side has been growing dramatically, with a lot of folks coming in, and this guy is very good read on technical stuff. So that reduces a lot of pressure from the development or the engineering team, because every question used to go to them directly. Now a lot of those gets filtered at Samir and his team level. And we will continue to invest, excuse me, to continue to invest in this support and chat team. So we want to make that I think we have heard solid feedback, very positive feedback in terms of response time, which is less than a minute most of the time. And in terms of, the positive feedback coming out of that. So that will continue to be our investment area in terms of support. So I want you guys to use chat as much as possible, and we'll continue to staff that team. We already have 5 guys right now doing the chat and support. And we'll continue to, as I said, we'll expand that side. But you also understand this support is not just how to support. It is your first line of support for anything. You have an issue, you report to support. You want to learn something, same thing with the training. If you are a smaller agency, you do not have to, book a big training session with Kiara or Nadia or Montserrat. We can do that with Rohan or Samir, Shivam. There are several guys who can just get you guys going up and running real time, literally. So we will continue to be that point of contact where these guys can step up the game. But also need a lot of feedback. Good to hear from you, Tamara, that chat support is amazing. So yes, again, that we are not phone-based support primarily, even though we have a lot of guys in US office, but chat support is because I think then we can support multiple guys parallelly. And that is helping us a lot. As we are continuing to grow, this is important that we build a more optimized solutioning around support, and this is what I believe is helping. So with that, again, back to you, Montserrat, but big shout out for Samir and the team. They are doing a phenomenal job, and we'll continue to support them so they can support everybody overall.
Thank you, Roshan, for your kind words. But yeah, I would like to take this opportunity and this platform that, we are there to help you out with any kind of support that you want. There might be some ups and downs, but we are always ready to support you and jump in any issues that you face with our application. And because we want your experience with InsuredMine as smooth as possible, so we'll try to help you out in every way. So thanks for your patience and support. Yeah, thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you. Back to you, Montserrat. What's next?
Thank you, Samir. Thank you, Roshan. So, it's time to wrap up in IMOC. Sorry for that, guys. Thank you for being here with us. We are going to start also the cocktail hour. So, hope that you receive the recipe and be ready for chat with us.
It's gonna work out, Montserrat. Can you tell everybody how is that gonna work out?
Yes, I'm going to share my screen. Give me a second. Well, first, thank you so much for being here in IMOC. This would not be possible if any of you guys attend IMOC and also do not use InsureMine, as if you do not share your feedback, suggestions, and connect with us to build your process, to help you to utilize the platform and also to achieve your goals. Your success is our success. So thank you a lot.
Yeah. One more thing, if I may add, I hinted on this yesterday, and I guess we also talked about it a little bit in the last couple of days. I want to hear from all of you, and I'm sure you guys are active rather than I'm just looking at some blank screens and everybody has walked away. Write in the comment and tell me how much will you be excited about if we do this in person in Dallas early 2023. Yeah. So doing IMUG virtually twice, we wanted to just start building some experience for ourselves. So now I think we have done it, and couple things what we have learned out of that is, I think we want to limit this 2 days to 1 day per quarter. So we want to do 3 virtual every quarter, and 1 quarter we will do in person. So that's what I'm saying now. So within next 30 to 60 days, before the end of this year, we will have a plan rolled out. So you guys can have your travel plans and everything scheduled for Dallas, because again, it's Dallas, it's central from all over the country. So easy flight options, a lot of locations to do stuff around. And I think it will be fun to just see you guys in person and just do stuff around. So stay tuned for that. And as I said, a lot of good feedback. I love this community building. I love how we are starting to see so much beyond transaction. It is, you guys are not a user count to me. You are humans, and we do not talk about B2B. We talk about H to H, which is humans to humans. And the relations that we are developing, it is, it has gone or transcended beyond transaction. It has become emotional. And the tie of this emotional connection will evolve further as we bring you guys in person. So I cannot be more excited and thrilled about saying that, our next IMUG will be in person. So, and again, I cannot wrap this up, even though we are going for the happy hour in next 8 minutes for the cocktail thing, I cannot wrap this up without a huge round of applause. Guys, everybody join me for congratulating and thank you, Montserrat, for, doing a lot of heavy lifting. So as you guys know, again, it's Kiara, who does a lot of this for us, has been, with her delivery and everything, got limited capacity, but Montserrat picked it up right where, but Kiara is not done anywhere anyways. So, but again, I think this is also a reflection. When people are given opportunity, they rise and shine. And so this is a wonderful opportunity that we see with what Montserrat has done. She got involved with InsuredMine. She joined InsuredMine in December. And just in 10 months, it's a meteoric rise of resources and people like her. So great work, Montserrat. Thank you. And again, last one for the day, I want to thank Don, who have been, kind of the conductor for the whole show. He has hosted such a wonderful way. His one-liners, his wittiness, his comedy, obviously has got everybody engaged. Another great find from the industry for InsuredMine. We are very, very happy and honored to have Don in our team. He manages and leads our enterprise sales. So again, great resource. Again, Don has done so much work in the industry. Almost everybody knows him. And again, last couple of days, you guys have seen a lot of interaction, a lot of insight coming from him. So that's another wonderful reflection. You guys have heard a lot from our internal team, from Montserrat to Samir. You have spoken with other folks. Rohan was presenting earlier today. Shubham unfortunately could not. You heard Tucker talking about, again, this is just, we are opening this up. It's no more where a couple of years ago, you go to a show, you see only Roshan. You go to a conference, you see only Roshan. There is a webinar, you see only Roshan. It's the InsuredMine is above and beyond Roshan now, which is what I'm proud of, that we have been able to create an institution. And there are a lot of faces, there are a lot of people with a lot of caliber who are pushing that agenda forward. And that cannot be anything less that I'm proud of. So, thank you all. But again, thank you to the InsuredMine team who makes us look good to be able to help you guys do what we are. With that, I want to wrap up here. Back to you, Montserrat, on your last piece of things, what you need to get done.
Okay, thank you, Roshan. So what it's going to be next, it's that, well, I'm going to ask you to fill this survey so you can scan the code. If you do not have the time to scan, I'm going to send you here in the chat the link. It's going to be 2 links. And let me type the links here. Give me a second. Okay, that is one, the IMOC survey. And then, well, we have another surprise. So we are going to send you the IMOC 2 workbook via email. It's not going to be a digital workbook. It's going to be a printed workbook, So what you have to do is you have to scan this code. And also when you receive the email, you need to share in LinkedIn. And also if you receive your swag bag, you need to share also your swag bag and your workbook in LinkedIn and add the tag IMOC 2, InsureMine, and also tag InsureMine. So what you are going to, so this is a dynamic that we want to do because at the end of the cocktail hour, the people that more engage with us, we are going to send a cocktail kit.
What?
Yes, we're going to send a cocktail kit. So you need to be engaged with us and also all the people that have been joined in IMOC yesterday and today, they are going to be able to participate. And well, it's not only that, you are going to receive also, we're going to have only 3 winners per cocktail kit. So be prepared with your recipe, with your ingredients, and see you in the other session that the bartender is waiting us.